now.
I
Hello,
got
and welcome to 100 Yards of Football Sports. I'm your host tonight's show, Coach Kevin Bull Jones. I'm back, and I got a special friend, a great man, and definitely a mentor of mine is here. We can talk some things about what's going on in recruiting in the world of football as we know it on the high school level and high school coaches. And tonight, folks, I'm bringing back the guy that puts a lot of things together here in the Metro Atlanta area for us high school coaches, the founder and president of the Minority Coaches Association of Georgia, Ahmand Tinker. Good to see you. Glad to have you with us today, Tink.
Man, thank you, Bull. It is an honor as always to come on here and to be able to share things that's going on in the great state of Georgia, with coaches, prospect, and just life. So I appreciate you having me back, because a lot of people don't bring me back the second time.
Well, I know where your heart is, and I know the foundation of you and what's important is about those kids, and that's why I wanted to bring you back on the show. So, sports fans, sit down and get comfortable because we're going to, myself and I affectionately call him Tink, his nickname, but he's still coach to me, always will be. That's his background. So he definitely spearheads a lot of things down here in the Metro Atlanta and Georgia area for us. So if you enjoy the show, please share with my guest tonight. Well, Tink, listen, I wanted to talk tonight about June 1st, when supposedly now the NCAA is allowing the big boys and all this recruiting stuff to turn back up. But, behind the scenes, and you know it more than anybody else because you talk to so many collegiate coaches during the course of the day, where are we with the current high school seniors that are trying to find places to play? I got a lot of mamas, daddies, uncles, granddaddies, grandmothers listening, and they're wondering where can their child go to play some football now? And I want you to expound on that for me.
Well, Bull, it's going to be opportunity for the class of 2022. But the thing about it, of course, is, remember, college recruiting is a business. Therefore, it's going to be treated as a business on both sides, whether you're a parent, prospect, college coach. So we got to make sure that you're treating like a business. So therefore, again, there's going to be some opportunity, but that those two words right now that are hurting high school players is transfer portal. Because of the NC2A transfer portal, there are going to be situations where colleges are going to recruit that portal first because those are players who have already played at the collegiate level or have been on a collegiate roster. So they're going to be instant help, whereas sometimes with so many high school players, you have to build those players up. So if you look at it from Division I level, a lot of those guys, when they go into the transfer portal, they are recruiting immediate needs. So if I need a cornerback right now to come in and help because we only got 4 corners, if I need 1, need 2, I'm gonna go recruit it immediately. When you look at some of your FCS schools and going down, they're trying to recruit. They're trying to get drop down players, meaning players that have been at the FBS level. If they're FCS, vice versa. If they're Division II, they're going to recruit players from the Division I level and the FCS level. So again, it's going to be a trickle down effect. So is it hurting high school players? Yes, but at the same time, no, because you got to go out there as a high school player and as a parent, you still got to go to camp. You still got to go do everything that you can do to be able to try to find a place where your student can play. Because again, it can't be the D1 bus mentality. It has to be the mentality that I am trying to find a home where somebody wants me and where I can get it close to that zero balance as possible. That's the number one goal right there.
So, what about the kids that have played their last football season this past fall? What about those kids that didn't get a chance to go to the showcases last summer, things of that nature? That is a thing that a lot of parents ask me. I have a lot of colleagues, and you and I know the same people, and maybe trying to talk to those people to help those kids. I mean, where does it stand now? So the parents that are listening to this show can know what their child needs to do if their son just finished playing football this past fall in 2020 and he's looking for a place to go, to play some football?
Well, by rule, those players can also still attend some of the mega camp that's going on. They can still attend some of those camps. It's a case that, you still have to do the things that you have to do in regards to making sure that you're attending those mega camps. You're possibly trying to find a walk-on home because, again, there may not be scholarship opportunities out there. There are some junior colleges out there still looking. And it still goes back to the level. What level are they looking for? Are they just looking for Division I? Because, again, I get emails every day of Division II, Division III, and I still looking for the class 2021. You still have JUCO still looking for them. So your goal may still be the same, but your route may change to get to your ultimate goal. So they got to make sure that they're doing the things that they need to do to be able to get there. Because, again, even the class of 2021, there are still opportunities out there that those players can still, realize their dream of number one, going to college and getting an academic degree first and foremost, and playing a game of football that they so love and desire. It just may be a different path to get there because of the pandemic.
Well, I know that the climate with college coaches because you talk to them so often. What are they saying? What are the things that concern them the most about walking down this uncharted territory as far as recruiting? What are they saying to you? How are they dealing with it?
Well, again, some of the big things that were going on during recruiting. You were doing virtual combines. They were doing some of the virtual visits. I think the big thing now moving forward, here it is now. It is May 24th, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's May 24th at this point now. I'm getting old, so I start forgetting stuff. CTE. But in May 24th. So moving forward, the big thing that the college coaches, they want to put eyes on these players. That's why these players and these prospects and parents, you got to make sure that you're getting to these prospect camps, whether it be a mega camp, whether it be going to the individual college, because that's the thing now. College coaches have not been on a roll since January of 2020. So now when you look at the class of 2022, the class of 2023, they've seen these kids on film, but a lot of times they haven't seen these kids in person. So now they want to be able to say, okay, what is their verified height? What is their verified weight? So they want these things because, again, here's the thing: college football is all about big people. Okay, right. They want to recruit big people, so they want to verify that if you say you're 6'4", that you're 6'4". If you say you're 300, they want to be able to verify. So it's all about right now. Hey, I got to be able to put eyes on you because, again, it's their livelihood. If they don't win games, they can't feed their family. And remember, college recruiting is the bloodline of college athletics.
Correct. And with that being said, when you talk about some of the coaches that you've spoken to on the collegiate level, what about the premise of the Twitters and the Instagrams and kids putting their highlights out, such as things of that nature? Is that more? Is there more exposure now? Is there more attention to it now as opposed to in the past, or has it always been the same from what you think is going on now?
Well, I mean, I definitely think it's more because in the past it was, you had to try to figure out to get the high school coach, to get in touch with the college coach. You had DVDs, you had CDs, and then it moved from Huddle. And then now it went from initial contact being online now to with Twitter and with, IG and some other, avenues that you can reach out. So again, it is very important that as a parent, as a prospect, that you're using these avenues to be able to reach out and connect the dots between yourself and between the college coaches who are the decision maker. So again, I tell prospects all the time when I'm talking to parents and players, you got to make sure that you make yourself marketable on social media, meaning I can't go out there and make my name on social media big sexy number 69. My name needs to be Ahmand Tinker. Because again, if I like you and I'm a college coach, I'm not looking for big sexy number 69. So remember, use Twitter wisely, use IG, whatever social media platform you're using, But again, make sure you make yourself marketable. Think before you post. Think before you retweet, because again, if you retweet it, you say it. Because again, the initial recruit nowadays starts online, because if a college coach like you, they're going to follow you. And then eventually they're going to DM you. They're going to DM you, and the process is going to start from there. And I tell people this all the time. They may DM you. They may say you offer you, but it's still always going to fall back on your high school coach, because they offer you. People always say, how do I know it's an official offer? Because they called your high school coach. They told your high school coach.
Tink, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you, because if there's one gray area that we're having, and I say we, I mean coaches all across the nation. Let's just keep it real. Knowing what is an offer, battling with the situation or scenarios where kids are transferring, and coaches always say they're trying to get a kid from a local high school or whatever. They say, I can help you get to school. And, I laugh at that sometimes, because if you're 6'5" and you're 315 pounds, I don't think, you're going to need a whole lot of help convincing somebody that you might be a football player. But I want you to speak on that scenario that happens a lot. And you kind of delved into it a little bit. We're talking about how the parents need to and players need to address some of this, the recruiting process part.
Well, and I think that parents and players have to understand there are going to be people in different communities from different schools that are going to say, hey, I can get you this offer, I can get you that, what XYZ coach can't. But at the end of the day, no high school coach can get you an offer, because they're not a decision maker. Can they possibly get you in front of decision maker? Yes. Do some more of them have a little more access and relation with them? Yes. But at the end of the day, first and foremost, your academic transcript is going to set you up, because, we look at numbers. If I'm not mistaken, if you have a 4.0 or higher, 96% of the universities that play college football can recruit you. 3.5 is 81%. So the numbers go down with academics first and foremost. Then it goes to your performance. What is your performance? How are you going to perform on the field and do these things? And again, it always goes back to measurables as well. Again, football is a big man's game. So a lot of time in high school, we're going to have so many dynamic players that are probably their height between 5'7" and 5'10". They're dynamic in high school. But I say this again, football is a big man's game, because at the end of the day, one thing coaches cannot do, if your DNA and your genetics say you're going to be this, they can't stretch you, make you be any bigger. So they can coach size all day and every day. So a kid may not be as good in high school, but because he has that DNA, no genetic, they can coach that up. But hey, look at me. I'm 5'8" and a half. They can't stretch me to be 6'2", 6'3" now. So at the end of the day, it's a big man game. And listen, always trust your high school coach, because it only takes one university to offer you. When people say, hey, I got 25 offers, so what? You can only take 5 official visits, and you can't take 5 official visits anymore because you don't have enough time. So it only takes one university to love what you're doing. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, you can get that offer at school A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. It don't make a difference.
See, again, the knowledge and experience that you have with doing this, along with your 9 to 5 as an administrator and principal and in a leadership position, those things, I respect that about you, because I understand your affinity for making sure kids understand they can go to school and giving them those opportunities, as well as high school coaches being that big brother to help them out. And you mentioned about those mega camps, but you yourself, with the recruiting fair, that we still had the recruiting fair you hosted this past December, that I thought was once again fantastic. And a lot of people showed up for that, and schools that could come made it a point to be there. Shout out to Riverdale for hosting it, being there. It was impressive again, as it always is, but you're on the forefront of things that Minority Coach Association is hosting and putting together, and talk about some of those events. I can read them off, but I want you to give some dialogue on them, because I see some new stuff popping up that I didn't see before, like the ladies camp, and I'm going, wow, man, you taking this to another level that I can definitely appreciate, and definitely some of the listeners.
And Boo, one of the things that we're trying to do, we're trying to expand, and we're trying to make football a game for everyone. Again, football is, not just for males. So, some of the things that we're doing this year, again, we got, coming up, we're working with LaGrange College on their Champions Elite camp that they have in LaGrange to try to help them get more universities there. I think right now it's currently 82 universities from around the country, from Division I all the way to junior college. Again, we also have our female flag football camp coming up the following week, along with a middle school camp that we're going to put out. That's going to be the same day. And again, for the middle school kid, that camp will fill up. It'll be a great success, because again, it's not, we're not just focusing on the high school kid. We're trying to expand to take it down to the middle school kid, where when they come to our camps at high school, they've already been there, they already have the knowledge and what it looks like. So we're doing some things and just trying to make sure that we're giving everyone the opportunity who wants the opportunity to be successful. Moving forward, we also have our senior games that are in December that cover several counties: Clayton, Atlanta Public Schools, Muskogee County, also South Fulton. We're going to expand this year and bring in Douglas County and possibly and 6 counties unnamed. And again, we're about to drive the Rising Seniors. So the Rising Senior game is about to change. It's going to be called the Georgia Junior Bowl, powered by the Minority Coaches Association. So we're about to fully take over the Rising Senior game moving forward, to be able to have some of the top juniors in the state of Georgia continue on a huge platform that's been going on for years. So, we're just trying to do things from coaching outings to we're even going to have a couples retreat in July, because again, a lot of time with coaches, we're always getting together, we always socializing, or we're always away from the house, but we always leave out that critical component that is the foundation of the family structure, the marriage. It ain't us. It's the wife. So we want to do things that we're gonna do a weekend coaches retreat where we bring in people to do some spiritual stuff, to do some counseling, and also to have time so wives can spend time with other wives and they can talk about some of the things, some of the issues they're going through. Because again, stuff that coaches are going through, hey, it's universal, because all of us are hard-headed, we're bull-headed, and we should do better. But we have to make sure that we're addressing those things and that we're trying to help coaches as a whole, not just from an athletic standpoint.
Well, I tell you what, I know my wife is definitely listening. You said couples retreats. Oh my goodness, you just got brownie points in the Bull Jones household with that one. So I know she's gonna be looking at the calendar. I'm gonna be bugged about this one later. But but I appreciate so much of what you do, because like I mentioned, it is we are targets in this arena of football, and you've been on this end of it, and the peaks and valleys, highs and the lows. But once again, when you put together like the HBCU mega camp, I tell you what, Tink, that is being a former HBCU player and understanding the love and attention those schools need is astounding, and it makes me smile even more. The senior, I had a player play in the what used to be called the Rising Senior game, and I just remember, I told my kid when he got picked to play in that game, and there might have been some, he might have not been the first one to get on the list, but I told him he needed to understand how prestigious it was. But now that he's back home from college, from an FBS school, all he does is talk about that game. And on the side was Will Anderson, and he was on another side. The memories that you gave those kids, and hats off to all the guys that are part of the Minority Coach Association, and they give their time. I'm gonna get in trouble if I try to say everybody's name because a lot of them I know them well. So I'm gonna be in the doghouse if I don't get everybody's name. So I'm gonna put it on you to get the officers' names in because I don't want to be the person getting in trouble. But I love how when you put these things together, these kids have lasting memories. And from day one, when you started this, and I even said it on the previous time we were together, I remember from day one out in the rain, out there, I don't know if it was Grady Stadium or Lakewood Stadium years ago. And to see where it is now, it's beautiful. And thank you, thank you for what you do for us because your socials for us, the clinics, even if it has to be, on the Zoom, you have been able to, you and your crew have been able to work through all of that. And I followed you to the coaching convention 2 years ago because that was just something that I had gotten away from. But through the urging of watching the cohesiveness and the brotherhood of coaches from all colors getting together, and I love the way you stress that as well. I'm just saying hats off to what you do. We need to give people more attention to the stuff that looks good. I mean, and it's right for everybody. And I think that's important, especially in this field of coaching, whether it's high school, NFL, collegiate, whatever. Sometimes we need a shoulder to lean on. So, brother, I appreciate your big shoulders. I'm glad you got that workout in today.
I appreciate it. And I definitely, and Lord knows I forgot about the HBCU mega camp. It's still on this year, July 10th. With Morehouse University, and that's one thing we got to do. We got to make sure that we are supporting our HBCUs because when there were no other ways, the HBCUs were there. So we got to make sure that we are putting back in. So I'm thankful what Deion Sanders is saying because again, the HBCU are outstanding place to get an education and they play good football too. So we got to make sure we're supporting them guys.
Well, I tell you right now, sports fans, I'm here with Ahmand Tink from Minority Coaches Association, a wonderful friend, a person that is doing so much in the community and being that pillar for us high school coaches. Last thing I want to talk about with one of the things that you put on was just impressive. You had the symposium where you had people go through auditioning as if for in front of people in the video for NCAA or for collegiate coaches or ADs paying attention to them interviewing. Can you expound on that real quickly?
Yeah, so what we do every year, and we do this as the Minority Coaches Association. We partner with the Minority Coaches Advancement Association, a group of college guys who I've been working with since their establishment. But what we do, we go out there and we identify potential future college head football coaches from across the country. And at this point right now, we have every major search firm. This year we had 14 candidates. We had guys such as Brian Brown, the defensive coordinator from Louisville. We had Clayton White, the defensive coordinator from South Carolina. We had guys like Reggie Rufford, head coach at Miles, Charlie Jackson, head coach at Kentucky State, Willie Simmons, head coach at Florida A&M. We had other coordinators from places like Iowa State, David Johnson, who's recruiting coordinator, running back coach at Florida State. So we had a variety of guys. And again, we go out there and we get every major search firm. We get ADs, ADs from across the country. I think this year we had the AD from Oregon, Texas A&M. We had the AD from Auburn. We had the AD from UMass, New Mexico State. We go out there and we get the senior associate AD, the assistant AD. We get current head football coaches. And, some of the guys that I'm going to mention, these are my guys who they are always willing to come support what we do at Minority Coaches Association as current college head football coach. They support all these events. Guys like Willie French at Tulane, Will Healy at Charlotte, Coach Ken Natsumola at Navy. Constant, Jeff Collins from Georgia Tech was on there. These guys are guys who making anywhere between $3 to $6 million a year, but they always support what we do as a Minority Coach Association. Because again, we are trying to help coaches prepare for when it's their opportunity to get in front of decision maker, that they're prepared, and it's not nothing new for them. So we've been doing that with guys who are trying to be current, who are trying to be head coaches. We do it with guys who may be at the lower division, maybe at D2, D3, and I assistant coaches who may be high school coach. We turn around and take those same guys who are interviewing, who are P5, G5 coaches. They become a panel, and we try to help guys transition from one level of college coaching to a higher level. So again, it is all about the empower. Each one, reach one, teach one, uplift one philosophy to be able to help guys learn and grow. Because again, it's a process, and as minority coaches, we must do this to be able to help one another. Because again, listen, we only get one shot, and so when the shot and opportunity puts itself on Front Street, we got to be ready, 100%. So one thing I'm gonna always do is make sure that I help guys that, again, when it's their opportunity, that they kill the lifetime of opportunity and opportunity of lifetime.
Well, we and I say this, and I know a lot of people on this, that, we respect and appreciate the light that you give for coaches of all walks of life that are trying to progress themselves on the level of coaching. My infinite battle is always when people watch football, and it's a wonderful sport. To me, it's one of the greatest games on the face of the earth. Team sports, that is, anyway. Whether it's the highs or the lows that go with being that head coach or coordinator on whatever level, there's more to substance than to being a coach. There's a family. There's a family has to go home to. There's a 9 to 5. And at high school level, we got real jobs where we got to go work first and coach later. So that transition and that support means a lot to me and lots of people that I know and talk to all over Metro Atlanta. And I really have great respect for when, schools are looking for coaches and you find a way to, first of all, those collegiate schools come to you, because they understand that you serve a large area of coaches all across Georgia. But it's the work that you put in, Tink, that hats off to you, because they're gonna call you, and that's because you know what you're doing, and you're always in a position of helping people, helping coaches, and man, that is gigantic in my world. Thank you for what you do, and I mean that. So listen, Tink, let's go ahead and let's flip the script real quick, and I know you're a Miami Hurricane fan. I'm a Bama fan. And September 4th, something's going down, Tink, and it's going down downtown in Atlanta. And so the way I understand it, you all have a lot of transfers coming in. The U does. So I'm gonna sit back and give you the floor and tell me how good what is the forecast for the U, the real U, Miami Hurricanes, your team.
Boy, I'm gonna tell you this, boy. I am a Miami fan, true and dear. The Lord knows, Bama is a machine that I still don't know if Miami ready for this time right now. I mean, because I'll never forget 1992 in the Sugar Bowl. I mean, I'll never forget 92 in the Sugar Bowl, Bama and Miami, in the U. So, right now, Miami is going to really depend on if De'Aaron King is fully recovered from the ACL injury. If he's fully recovered, Miami will be a machine. A lot of great transfer. But again, they lost so much on defense line. They lost two guys that got drafted on the defensive front in the NFL. So it'll be a tough one. And again, Miami is slowly working their way back to the real Miami. I mean, it's a lot tougher now because again, the swagger is still there, but the game of football has changed so much for Miami in the standpoint of it's an arms race now, and there's so many more universities with just so much more booster money. What I call booster money. It's so more. But I'm gonna be honest, boy. For me, I go to HBCU games. That's what I support 100% now. And do I have an HBCU team? No, I support HBCU University. I go to games and I have a great time now. I tailgate and I have a great time. So I like Miami. I ain't gonna say I love them no more. I used to love them. I like them now. I love HBCU football now. So I'm gonna tell you right now.
Well, I tell you what, and Miami having 9 starters back on defense, I think I agree with you. They're on the rise. Coach Diaz is slowly getting them back to where they need to be or used to be, and he'll be taking over the defensive calling signals this fall. So I'm gonna, when that game goes down in downtown Atlanta, the earth is going to shake a little bit, especially when the Crimson Tide roll in. So I'm going to be like you. I'm going to be sitting the fan and watching like everybody else is going to be in the metro area and across the United States. But yes, back to what you mentioned about HBCU football. I'm glad got a chance to watch it and sit down and watch it this past spring for the schools that did participate. Glad that Prime Time is where he is because he's that light that, of course, there was always some very good coaching going on in HBCU football. It's just competing with all the other big stuff in the fall. So Prime Time got a chance to give some other coaches and programs some light, and hopefully it permeates through the rest of the conference, and everybody just has a chance to get a chance to be seen. So hats off to watching it this spring because I certainly enjoyed it. It got me out of cutting grass a couple of times because my wife was on that honey-do list. But no, I really enjoyed watching. And I think Prime had a lot to learn of, the whole nuances of being a veteran coach on that level. And of course, Coach Maynard, at Alabama A&M let him know, in his own way, let him know that, this stuff has been going on here for a while. Good playing. And I'm anxious to see how things work in the fall when some of those players that didn't play this past season for Prime Time, such as his son, both his boys, I'm anxious to see how that's going to work out this fall when he gets those monsters out there. I'll be watching.
Well, I'm anxious to see it too, but you got to understand, fam, you coming in, Bethune coming in. They've always had transfer. So getting transferred to HBCU, that's nothing new. The only thing that Prime did was put it in the mainstream media. They always been coming, always. So all those teams have a lot of transfer, and it's going to be good football. It's going to be good football this fall. Good football.
Well, I agree with you, and at the end of the day, after all we've been through, America's been through, everyone's been through, with everything with the pandemic and things going on. It'll just be a joy to see football, some normalcy coming back this summer with the camps. I'm going to be right there, as many as I can, at the mega camp, as well as the one that you work with LaGrange, and some sending players to all those functions because that's important. So sports fans, if you get a chance, you have sons somewhere that are playing high school football, and if you can make the trip, come on into Georgia and come check out some of these camps because it's very important for the exposure. And last words from you, Tink, on where the association is going in the near future.
Well, I mean, as a group, as a collective group, as a whole, me just being the executive director, again, we got good people who are running the association from the William Severa to the Joseph Kegler, to the Olden Downs, to the Nick Davidson, to the Josh Moore. It's guys that are working behind the scenes a lot of times and doing things that who may not necessarily get the credit. But those guys right there are my heroes because we got to get something done. Trust me, it ain't me. It's us working as a group. But we're moving forward as an association. Again, we're trying to grow. Some of the things I talked about doing from the college standpoint, we do the same thing, mock interview from the high school standpoint. You know, we're moving forward this year. We're about to get $1 million insurance policy for all our members. We already got $2,500, of our life insurance. We're trying to move forward, and we're trying to grow the association to be one of the best associations around the country where we can educate our coaches and at the same time help our coaches grow, not just as football coaches, but as parents, as fathers, as husbands, those things that are going to make society a better place. Because again, those are things that we need to be able to get true equality, whether it be in life, whether it be in coaching. Those are things that we need to be able to close the gap, to be able to bring us all together as people.
Well, Tink, thank you for being that pillar of strength. Thank you for being that foundation and the support for high school coaches all across Georgia, including me. Thank you so much for taking time to be with us again. Once again, I'm glad to talk to you. You always know to lay it down on my show. Thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome, boy. Appreciate you having me anytime. Hey, bring me back. I'm ready to get some.
Thank you. Hey, listen, thank you so much for tuning in. If you all enjoyed the show, thank you. And please make sure that you share. We again appreciate you for tuning in to 100 Yards of Football Sports. Have a good evening.